and welcome to the slightly delayed Google Hangout. I am your host, Julie Renee, ha ha ha, and we'll get started. We have a really exciting lineup today, and we've got lots to do. I've already started working with all of you to clear your energy of fear around abundance and wealth, and also lifestyle and owning it. So I'd like to start the morning with a grounding meditation, since we've had a little delay in getting started, and I want to just have everybody feel centered and grounded and that you made it. And so go ahead and allow yourself to drop in to the body and send a grounding cord down. And just breathe deeply. It's all right to stay present and not disappear, but I want you to feel your spirit is returning to your body, that all is well and problems are being resolved. It's an interesting situation with our wealth class, and we are going to create a breakthrough this morning. I really get this breakthrough is coming. So welcome everyone to the call, and know that you are loved and cherished. Love to see some breakthroughs from you, so if you would like to post any breakthroughs in wealth, I know I've gotten some communications by email where we start actually seeing some breakthroughs, so let's see what the wealth breakthroughs are. And want to talk to you also about refining your mock-ups. At this point, we're on the starting the third week for the ones of you who started at the beginning, and starting the second week for those of you who joined us a little later. So there should be some breakthroughs happening if you're steadily doing the mock-up meditations. Let's see what we've got here. Hello everyone. Mocking up great wealth and health, great. Chantel, just need music from Wheel of Fortune. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, good. Well, I'm sure that I know there's a little time delay in the texting there on the side. So why don't we get started with the first clearing? And that clearing is on leadership. So being able to step into your leadership role, whatever that is. So let's go ahead. We'll be looking at fear of leadership, fear of speaking in public, fear of attack, or fear of your life being in danger if you step into leadership. Yeah, I think that would be good to start with. So let's start with that. So it's of being in the public eye, of being afraid of attack. So we'll be clearing past lives where you might have been attacked for speaking out or being a leader. And then we want to really move into that space of joy around wealth and leadership. So we're pumping away here. You can join me with the pump. Yeah, there's some wonderful things that happen when you're able to step into leadership. And what we're looking for is to clear the fears away and the blocks away. And leadership may be completely different depending on who you are. You may be leading your family. You may be leading an organization. Or you may just step up and take responsibility and really, from the position that you're in, lead, which would be, for example, if you were working in a corporation, you might start really holding your role as a leader rather than as a worker. So, for example, something goes wrong and your boss says, no, this went wrong and we had some complaints. Then you would step up and take responsibility, even if there were explanations for it. You would say, well, I see that I did that. I didn't check something, or I didn't go over something. and you take responsibility, and then you make it better. And then, what's so cool about leadership and that kind of way of being is that people begin to really trust you and look to you as a dependable person, because everybody has their challenges and life happens. But when you step up, and that's really true leadership, is stepping up, taking responsibility. So that's one way to do it. Another way is to look at who you are in the world, what you're up to. And I think we do have some coaches and healers on the call, people who are wanting to make a difference in the world. And it's really interesting to look at who a leader is and in a leadership role. One of the things I was thinking about this morning is the dress for success. And as you dress nicely, as you own it, however it is that you own it. So, or if you might be dressing cool, you might be dressing in tailored clothes, but the how you appear really also gives people confidence in you as a leader. So how you feel about yourself and then what you project out in the world is very important for you making the shifts and changes and really having everything come together so nicely. So leadership is what we're going for. Okay, I think we have some notes here. Hi, Brad. And technical difficulties. Yeah, my own link wasn't working, so I understand you guys were here, and I was waiting for a link that would allow me to come into the class. I could see the streaming, but I couldn't get to you. It was very frustrating. So, mocking up, Chantel. Oh, yes, okay. So beautiful. So let's start. If you can start posting some of the breakthroughs you've had, that would be very inspiring for all of us. So I know with my mock-ups in general, last week, remember I said I wanted to clear something around the mortgage and the government. And although I can't say that the government has yet to reveal our tax filing issue, something super cool happened. My mortgage rates have potentially dropped from 4% to 2.5% while I'm waiting to file my taxes and get my mortgage. So I thought that was super cool because that's a definite big win in the money arena when you're looking at a jumbo loan to drop 1.5 points. So a lot less money to pay in interest. Okay, Tanya, I'm leading an experience of money and life freedom right in Florida tomorrow night. My breakthrough is I am walking what my team creates a full experience, and I'm feeling free. Fabulous. Susan, I'm having an amazing day yesterday. I had an amazing day yesterday. I felt very connected to the divine, very calm and grounded. I brought more to my client sessions. Wonderful. And when you do that, it just snowballs. The field of amplification, when you do something wonderful for your clients, they tell people about you, and you bring in more people. In addition, the energy shifts. You say, okay, I'm ready. I had a slow period where we changed the look of the website and how to get around things. And it slowed down some of the sales. And I noticed yesterday also with my mock-ups, the sales started coming back in. So that was very cool. Okay, let's see. And Tanya, again, I'm doing living being in this day, not another day in the future. And this, Julie, is amazing, amazing breakthrough that I can take. Take to the bank. Yay! Chantel, I wanted to go to Christy Marie Sheldon's webinar in May and was concerned about spending the money. I felt a strong yes when I muscle tested myself. I paid for the webinar And just a few seconds after, I got several assignments as a substitute teacher, which will repay um, for what I just spent for her seminar. Yahoo! Fantastic. Susan, my first goal is to release worries about money. I realize that all the worry is likely blocking my abundance. Absolutely. And good news, Susan, we are working on that. So I think the fear pictures that we'll be working on today will also release the worry. We'll put that in the formula. I'm so proud of you guys. And whether you're having big breakthroughs or small breakthroughs, look to each day. Look at what's changing. Look at what's transforming. With this class, it's been really exciting. I'm transforming my team, and of course, that will, when you're influencing 10 or 12 other people, that may take a few weeks to transform. But the very shift that happened in me is starting to shift and ripple out to my team. So we're doing a meeting on operations. We're doing a meeting on production. We're doing a meeting on efficiency, the whole team. And I realized that that was going to really help me step up as a leader to take charge and to say, this is the way we're going to organize things. So sometimes when you're in the reorganization of your life, there's a little bit of chaos that comes. And that's natural. And just hold firm to the focus and the clarity of what you're going for. That on time, you know, people get their emails, everything happens as we promise it will. So we will get that down really quickly with the team. But it's exciting because I can see myself. It was one of the things I mocked up for this wealth program, was to step into my own leadership on a higher level. Okay, we've got some more comments. Really feeling sick and having issues doing assignments and very behind. So for Elle, what I'd like to suggest for you is, sounds like you're detoxing, and it sounds like your body is kind of fighting against moving forward. That looks like family patterns. What I have recommended at the very beginning of the course is that you set up your time, and I really push for this, that you do it the same time every day, the same time. So maybe you do your meditations on the way to bed, and you do your homework assignments in the morning when you wake up or at lunchtime. But try and pick a day and a time that you can show up for yourself. I know I was struggling with fatigue. My hours are just really long. And I noticed that I started just getting into this kind of fog of following the fatigue. And I changed. I went out and got a reading light for my bedroom. So I have an agreement with myself to be in bed at 9 because I've been tired. I've just been tired. I've been working too many hours. And so the getting wound down early for me and turning the light off at 10 o'clock really works. So it's that habitual excellence that we were talking about really making habits that work for you. My meditations and my practices happen first thing in the morning when I wake up between 5:30 and 6. And I get my mock-ups and my intentions done at that point. And then, you know, the invention of the next process and the journaling happens right after that. And then I exercise. So understand that for 22 days of the class, because it's a 21-day class, but you have an intro day, you're going to need an hour and a half. And it's not a quick thing to go through, but it's a life-transforming thing to go through. And for 21 days, you gift yourself the time. You say, I really matter, that this is so important to me that I'm giving myself the time to do this. Okay. Tom, health issues are improving. Bought 3 good film jobs last week. Manifested a new feng shui master that included astrology, feng shui together, teaching me how it works. Okay, good. Ellen W. Got my taxes done yesterday and accountant the best appointment ever. Thank you. Fantastic. There we go. I think I might have missed a couple here. Chantel, I'm really starting to really feel the release when I do the grounding cord and let go of excess energy. And after I feel the release, I feel a sense of relaxation and well-being. It feels really good. And Ellen, I've gotten a check for $604 and one for $799. This is a good start. However, I'm still a little scared of more. And yeah, that's one of the things that I think is really important to be working on is, the fear of what if life changes and it's different. And sometimes we're even afraid that life changing and just getting better might be really scary. So we're going to deal with that next too. And what I encourage you to do and understand is that your wealth breakthroughs will be dictated by how much you can allow in. So understand that if you're really in fear, if you're really feeling like, oh my God, what's going to happen, it may present some challenges to the wealth actually coming in and really being present and part of you. So you want to really work on doing your wealth mock-ups in you are comfortable with. I know I went from 6,000 a month to 300,000. I'm just giving you a number because I went into shock, and I was like, ah, this is so much. And everything was working on the website. All the links were working. It was before we switched, so we'll probably go back to that. And it was really a big deal for me energetically. And I needed to clear the fear pictures around being that wealthy or having that much money come in, being a millionaire or a billionaire, because I had been in this mode of, six-figure, 120 to 196,000 a year. And I'd been mocking it up for a few years that would change. But I finally got to the place where everything was in place to change it. So there's the outer action and then the inner action. So how we feel. And as you bring in a $600 check and you're surprised, oh, this came in, then you need to adjust up. One of the things you can do when that happens, when you say, oh, I can feel it in my body, I feel a little startled, or I feel frightened, or there's something going on with me just because I notice something is changing. You can pump the anxiety out of your system. And you don't need to know exactly what you're doing. You can just use this and say, wow, I feel a little fear around something shifting, and I'm going to clear that anxiety. And then you might go into testing to see where it's coming from. Is it soul contracts of others? Maybe as your family has some soul contracts that you stay in the position you stay in. I know one of the things that happened is, well, if I've always lived in a modest condo and driven a nice car, but an older car, my family would anticipate that particular role for me. If I now move into an estate in a beautiful Carmel Valley home on acreage, it changes things for my family. So I may feel something that isn't from me, that might be from my family that I would need to clear. So soul contracts of others and DNA are the things that you would want to look at if you felt energetically like maybe this is too much for my family to deal with. You also, the demonic curses is another one. So something that might have been picked up in other lives or in a group that you're part of. And then we look at the field of perception. And what's in the field of perception, again, is group mind, which is a meme, group miasm, which is group mind virus, rather, miasm, group mind virus. Black magic is what you say to yourself. So the things that'll prevent you from moving forward that you say to yourself. I notice I catch myself every once in a while. I'll say something and like telling myself, like, the stress, I wasn't sleeping well for a few days. And I actually noticed I said it to somebody that I can't sleep. Well, saying I can't sleep is very different than, stress in your life keeping you awake for a day or two. So now I'm telling my body I can't sleep. So I cancel that out. And I'm saying, heck no, I'm going right back to my regular sleep patterns. And I understand that I've gone through a little stress bubble where there's been a whole bunch of changes both in my career and my home, and everything is changing all at once. And that may stimulate a day or two where it's a restless night. But I'm certainly not going to say out loud I can't sleep. Because when you start saying I can't sleep or I'm not sleeping, then you start telling your body that that's true. And we just don't want to do that. But anyway, that's an example of black magic. So I would put black magic on myself. I'd be telling myself something. And then also in there are curses from other people. So one of my clients, I won't mention her name, she's from the Cacao Islands. Her husband had an affair. And so for the last 2 years, she's been yelling at him. And we checked, once we cleared all her curses, she said, where do they come from? And I said, well, they come from people. And so we looked, she was like, oh my God, because she'd been yelling at her husband for 2 years. And we found 1,200 curses on her husband. So you can actually, someone can put curses on you, or you can put curses on somebody, yelling, thinking bad thoughts, because thoughts are, we clear that energy. And then the last thing in the field of perception is the traumatic episodes from past lives. And this is quite a big deal. A lot of times you'll find that maybe you had wealth, or you were a leader, or you had prestige, and something negative happened. I spoke with a gentleman this week, and he said, I found you because you put controls on me in another life. I was a bad dude, and I'm sure the controls came from you. And he was right. I had, in another life, I was a leader, and it was a bad dude making a mess of things and murdering people and all kinds of things, and I put controls on him. And he said, I've changed my ways, I've devoted my life, and I could see that he had come up quite a bit. He wasn't at unconditional love yet, but he was really, he said, please remove the controls. So I did. And certainly that's not what I do in this life, but understand that in the Piscean age, that was how leaders helped the flow on the planet. If there was somebody who was, a bad dude, the leadership people would have the skill and the ability to put controls. Actually, everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a leader or not, but certainly leaders were called upon to do that. And in this era, we're all about clearing away all those blocks and controls. Certainly, and especially when people are up to doing good on the planet. They're up to making the planet a better place. That's what we want to do. So coincidentally, when he showed me that picture, I went into a deeper trance, and I removed all of the controls that I've put on people who are changing and making their shift. But understand, not everybody is me. Other teachers who have put controls on, and you can remove them by doing this. So that would be in the field of perception, those kind of controls. And they might be in your body too if it's in this lifetime. And then we have emotional programs that we clear. And of course, you can just imagine emotional programs are things that are stimulated from early childhood, from birth to present time. So that's where the emotional challenges come from. And there are actually many programs. They can embed in the cellular body, or they can be in your aura or your field. They can be, your emotions can be in your energy body, can be in your physical body. And yeah, so that's where we see them. And you want to clear them, the emotional programs, and then finally DNA. Okay, so we've cleared the leadership fears. And let's worry. And let's see. I wanted to do lifestyle changes, so that you were able to handle shifts in lifestyle, that it came gracefully and with ease. So any blocks to improving your lifestyle. And also on appearance, I want you to be able to own your appearance and feel really proud and happy about the leader role that you are, or the powerful role that you are, whatever that is. So we're going to clear the dress for success blocks, anything where you'd have to keep yourself hidden. So we're going to allow you to be magnificent and really own it in your appearance also. So why don't we go with those worries and fears around changes, and then any blocks to having the lifestyle improvements, and then also the being able to own your body and be the successful look that you are, so that people get, when you walk in the room, wow, he's a force or she's a force of nature. Okay, and while you're pumping, I'm going to read a few more comments. I see a whole bunch came up. So, and by the way, the blue, you probably know, when it's blue, Julie Renee, it's my administration people. So, okay, here we go, my dears. I saw Nina. I have always manifested, but I end up manifesting what is not ideal all the way. This leaves me frustrated, as what I get from the universe does not seem what I asked in terms of quality, example, quality of men, quality of opportunities. I can't hiring myself, too much compromise, accepted what I am manifesting. How do I tweak manifesting process to overcome this ongoing issue? Well, that is actually what you're doing in the 21-day period. But you may have, I'm going to put this on the list. You may have some kind of stinker, either soul contracts or entities or aliens that are affecting how you receive things. Like there might be some kind of a program that you don't get 100%. You get something that's a lesser version that has a weird aspect to it. So I bet other people on the call have that. And that's a process of refining and kicking out until you're really, really owning your body. I think one of the things, again, I want to really encourage you to do is really own your body in the outer world. Norma, hard to follow, skipping words and stopping from time to time. Thank you for letting us know. We'll work on that. And the will be perfect. So please do. We'll be getting the replay out to you really quickly. So then you'll be able to just see the stream on the YouTube video. And I'm sorry about that. Okay. Diane, okay. Okay, so Diane is saying that she is far behind. I'll bet there are a few of you that are a little behind on the class. You know, just start from where you are. I think I had a knowing that there were going to be people that got behind. So instead of making it like a 3-week, 3-session class, I made it a 5-session class. So if you're about, let's see, because we still have, we have today, we have next week, and we have the following week. So we have another 14 days for you to line up and get into the program. And then I just encourage you, just see what you can do. Maybe if you are at least on day 7, then I think that you'll be able to finish with the class. But regardless, you're getting the clearings. And I just encourage you to do the best you can. There's something about life. Life happens, right? I mean, we've had endless technical glitches. which have been very, we're working out the kinks. But to be your word to yourself and be your commitment to yourself means showing up regardless of the circumstances. And I understand about a mom being in the hospital. If this is your time to do your wealth program, then maybe you can get your meditation on your iPhone and do it while you're, sitting in the waiting room. Maybe you can print out the workbook pages and, bring them along with you. It's discipline to get through this class, but the results are incredible. And when people really take this and do it as if their life depends on it, endless, countless possibilities and results happen. So your commitment to yourself, because it's not about this class, it's a commitment to yourself. How badly do you want the breakthroughs? Like I said, I was noticing for a few days, I was kind of getting in a fog. I was just like responding to every call, and I was not moving ahead on my goals. I have manuscripts that I'm wanting to get out on Kindle, and I shifted that energy. I said, okay, I'm going to go to bed earlier so that I can make this happen, and I'm going to balance myself a little better. So I'm back to my routine with a morning workout. It's a little shorter because my days are so long right now. But I had kind of given up a little bit and said, I don't know if I can even do the workouts because I just get up and I go to work. I just get up and I'm on Skype or on a call with somebody, a few minutes after I'm up. So it's, it's conscious planning if you're really wanting to make your breakthroughs. For me, I have 11 manuscripts I'd like to get out in the next 6 months. They're all written. They need to go through edits. They need to go through layout and design. I have to go through them each myself and approve them before I send them to the editor. So I think 3 of them are back from editors already, and I'm working on the biggest one. We're doing a second edition of Your Divine Human Blueprint and a second edition of the 100% You book. So I'm making the changes, and sure enough, I've been able to devote at least an hour, sometimes 2 hours, to that project every day for the last 4 days since I really realigned myself with what does it take to make it all come together. What does it take to bring the wealth program together for me so that I can really shift, that my field can become a wealth magnet? So that's what we're looking for you. And if you've had these interruptions, I'm guessing that you always have interruptions. And what I'm going to say is, regardless of whatever happens with technology, whatever happens with even your health and with the job and a fender bender and whatever, keep your word to yourself and you will start living a different life, an extraordinary life, a life where miracles happen. If you pay a lot of attention to the muddle and that dominates your life, then you're saying the muddle is most important. If you put the most intention and attention on, I'm doing this no matter what, my life depends on it, this is so important to me, I'm going to have a breakthrough here, that's when the miracles happen. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity and really being so open and clear with me so that I could give this to the whole class, because I think it's a gift. And it's some about, there was another thing, it's very interesting, on will, on energizing will. And it's not from the mind that will happens, it's actually from the belly that will happens. And so you can't think yourself into something, but when you have like this, your core, your essential nature, your center of the body, is fortified with this strength, whether you improve the will chakra. Will is about the mind and body being aligned, and the spirit, and the spirit. So we'll be doing a beauty and weight loss program, an 8-week program starting in April. And that'll definitely be one of the things that is going to be, addressed every session. Being able to maintain will, and people say, "Oh, I just don't have the willpower to drop the 10 pounds," and I understand that it's really an interesting dance. Do you go with, "Oh, there's so much stress, I'm gonna, just have this treat," or do you go with, "I'm giving myself my dream body," or like with the house, I'm giving myself my dreams fulfilled. So how badly do you want this? Do you feel like you are being denied the life that you were really meant to live? Because I'm going to say that every one of you on this call knows that there's a different life for you. When I was putting my makeup on this morning, I was looking at myself going, I feel so happy teaching these online classes. It feels right to me. And I notice that I sparkle more and more because I'm doing what I know I'm supposed to be doing. This is why I came to planet Earth. And a few years ago, I remember feeling really frustrated, not getting booked on the stages I wanted to get booked on. And when I would get on a stage and speak to 600 people, I would just like line up. It's like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I don't know that speaking on stages is what you're supposed to be doing, but you know that there is a life for you that is bigger than the one you're living. That's why you're on this call. That's why you're in this class. You know that you're meant to be living in a nicer home. I knew I was supposed to be in a nicer home than the one I'm in, and yet I've been here for a long time. And when I got the no matter what attitude in July, I said to my girlfriend, I'm buying a house this year. And my friend said, oh, that's really unrealistic. Don't you think it's more like 2 years off? And I said, no. And it was like, my life depends on it. I am making this change now. I'm going to live in the home that I've imagined, that I really like, the home that fits the queen I am. So this is the 21 days, and I hope that you do this 3 times through, and you do every day, every day, every day. So recommit today. For those of you who have been struggling a little bit, I want you to recommit to this program. Recommit to it, because it will help you create the miracles in your life. I promise it will. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it together. And we've got another 2 more hours of clearing. So if you have something very specific that you would like to clear in those last 2 weeks, like Nina, which I've written down yours, you can send me an email, julierenee@julierenee.com. We haven't been able to get all the tech stuff figured out yet, so I apologize. I had wanted a Facebook group, and that just hasn't happened yet. So please just send me an email. And when we do finally get it up, you will be part of it for the rest of your life. It would be really nice if we were going through it together on Facebook too, but life happens and we're doing it, right? Regardless of the circumstances. So appreciate all of you, and thank you so much for the honest and sincere communications, because as you say what's in your way, or you say what you're clearing, or what you're breaking through, we all get to grow from that. So thank you. Okay. I don't have them written down, but good news, all of these classes are being transcribed, so you can grab the transcriptions and they'll be in there. Especially, I just described everything for you, but you'll be able to look at all the transcriptions. And that's actually already happening. So our transcription service got the last 2 classes, I think yesterday, and they've started in on them. So I would anticipate in the week. They're very fast. They're over in the Philippines, and they love this work. So Tanya, Tanya asked for controls to be removed. If I had put any controls on anybody in the class, I have already removed them. But we can work on that, on controls from teachers, like stops and set points that are lower. I'll put that on the list, controls and set points. And then what I'd like you to be thinking about is, who did I put controls and set points on? So if you muscle test over lifetimes, it's a two-way street. So if you want to be released from controls, you also want to release others from the controls you put on them. Okay, let's see. Yeah, good about it. So that's true. Yep. Charlotte, hi Charlotte. Can you say something about mock-ups versus affirmations? Yes. That's a fantastic question, and we really haven't talked a lot about mock-ups. Affirmations are something that you say over and over again. Mock-ups, in their very best, I'm not telling you to do it this way yet, but mock-ups in their very best form are said once. We do them every day in meditation, the same ones every day. What we're doing is getting your word to be God in the universe, so that what you say comes true. So it's a refinement process, and mock-ups are your future, and you're saying them as they're your present. So you're saying them that this has already happened. Either I'm standing in the future and this has happened, or this is my future and I'm looking ahead into the future and I see that this has already happened. But it's with certainty. Affirmations are very close, but affirmations are something that you want to keep reprogramming something. So you're attempting to reprogram something in yourself. So I'm powerful beyond measure. This is a fun one for me. If I notice myself slipping back into the nobody wants you, nobody loves you, you're worthless, the things that came out of people who took care of me, who just had their own pains and told me things that I just shouldn't have heard. But I'm sure many of you heard those things too. So I will jump into, even though I've cleared that stuff, I'll jump into that when I'm running. I'll start, I'll go, I'm powerful beyond measure, and all of a sudden I'll have this burst of energy again, because that's me, and I know that that's me, and I'm reminding myself that that's me. The mock-ups, so you see how that's a little bit different. The affirmations are, every day in every way I'm feeling better and better. Yes! Lions and tigers and bears am I. Every day in every way I'm feeling better and better. Every day in every way I'm feeling wealthier and healthier. So those are affirmations. They're joyful, they're fun, they're what you tell yourself to reprogram and repattern, but they're also reminders when you're off track to just come back in focus and back to who you are. So those are very fun. Mock-ups, like I said, we do 4 for a 21-day period, really refine those, and then do another 4. At the most, you're doing 8. More than that, you're just, there's too much going on. You're in competition with yourself. So it's something that you're manifesting. You're actually, that's another good way to look at it. I was looking at my wonderful branding design, web designer and branding person, and I'm going to coach her on this when we're off the call. She's always saying, I'm working on this, rather than I'm completing this. So if you think about affirmations are, I'm working on this, and mock-ups are, this is set for completion. This is set to be completed. I will accomplish this. This is set to be accomplished. So that's I think the distinction. Can we do more than one day session per day? Um, if you are wanting to catch up and you have time, you can, but understand that I want you to be doing this at least 21 days because you're getting an energy going. So if you do 2 sessions a day, then go through the program a second time. So if you've already got more than one session, and yes, you can do more than one of those sessions. And that's exciting. It's exciting that you want to do that. I love it. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can get more of these questions answered. Oh boy, we're at the end of the class. All right, my dears. How do I open up to my creativity? I need to work on my second chakra. Yeah, the second chakra is creativity. The right brain is creativity. Yeah, so you would want to actually do right brain. The heart, I think, is another area where creativity flows from. So those would be areas in the body for creativity. And I would do things like dancing and painting and laughing and whatever it is that's opening your heart. Even to me, I look at creating a meal. I've created a beautiful meal I didn't have time to get, but it's oatmeal and peanut butter and raspberries, and you know, I like to make pretty presentations for myself, so what I look at looks really pretty. So cooking might be good for you. Darlings, we're at the end of the class. I will have a copy of these printed out so I can see what the other questions are. We're going to start next week's class 10 minutes early to make up for our lost time, because I want you to have every second I promised you. And know that I love and appreciate you. And movement is happening on this end, and I know it's happening in you too. Let's recommit everyone to the process. And just to end the class, rub your hands together in front of your heart chakra, creating some psychic heat, some energy. Oops, and jingle bells is happening. And that's the way we're going to end the class. Right hand over your heart and left hand over your right in a universal mudra of self-love and self-affinity. And say to yourself, I love myself. I trust myself. I express my unique self. And I'll see you on the call next week. And we had a wonderful class. See you 10 minutes early. So we'll be 10 minutes early. I promise I'll be on the call 30 minutes early, but you'll see me at 10:02, and we'll have a 70-minute class next week. Okay, love you all. Bye-bye. God bless.